Well, you have all received messages. The flowers of Edo are blooming in the night. This is, for some of you, your home. For some of you, a place you are passing through. But in all cases, you understand the grave threat that a fire poses in this city of wood and paper. And so, as you sit meditating, waiting to see if there will be again a fire in the night, as there has been 4 times already in this past 10 days. Describe your characters and what they are thinking about. Let's start with Jaren.
Yeah, I'll be playing Kano Osasuni. He's a typical Shaolin monk slash cleric with divine domain of knowledge, so kind of a soothsayer type monk. And he's kind of wondering if it might be tied to the discovery he made that his temple hierarchy he was taking bribes, bribes for political power, money, and he's kind of concerned that they might be behind these fires.
All right. Let's toss it over to Lee playing Hanbei Tanaka.
Hello, I'm Adrian, or Lee 6113. I'll be playing Hanbei Tanaka. He is a hot-headed samurai who's extremely concerned about these fires as his own place, domicile, where his family lives. He's not married or anything, but he's got like his mother and probably younger siblings. He's worried the fires are going to erupt into the districts and just wreak havoc, and he's definitely focused on trying to stop these fires. So he's taking this edict and command very seriously. He is a paladin, uh, dueling style since he's a samurai, and I'm excited.
All right. Ian.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm playing Rumiko Otsuku. At the moment, she's standing by the side of one of these walls as she's looking across the city as these fires burn again. You know, and she has her thoughts that maybe it is the shogun that's doing this, but she's not certain from the rumors and conversations that's been floating around. She's actually not from this city. She's from a dishonored family further afield, and she was taught swordplay by her father, actually, which she's good at in her own mind. She's good at. She stands leaning against this wall in whatever clothes she has now. Is just it's kind of like that with the picture. It's just like layers and layers of really ragged. She almost looks like a tramp, almost in a sense. She kind of keeps mostly to herself. That's about it.
All right. And Cam.
Hello. So I have had so much fun building this character, as I'm sure you're probably aware, Jill.
Yep.
So I'll be bringing Koga to this story. He is a weathered, elderly gentleman, probably not quite into the twilight of his years, but he would probably be at a rough estimate late 50s. And he is currently sitting and just whittling away with his wood carver's tools, his wood carver's artisan tools, and he's just whittling away a little wooden bird. And he looks very plain. There's not much to him. He has a bow stave sitting propped up against the wall next to him, and by his feet is a little sword breaking dagger. So it's more like it's not a sharpened instrument. It's designed to catch another blade and divert it. So he carries his jite dagger and his bow stave with him as he travels from town to town, just looking to make some money, drink some alcohol, and get into as many fights as he can. That's his shtick.
And as you all sit or stand or lean against the wall in the various places around this district, you hear clang, 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 clang. The alarm bells sounding. You hear shouting and screaming. And as you burst out or look up, you see a whole street beginning to burn. It must have begun inside a building and been shielded, you think, for the bells not to be ringing until so much has already started to burn. For it must have been nothing but smoke until suddenly a conflagration. You see firemen clad in wettened leathers running forward with hooks on poles to pull down houses and knock loose tiles to try to create a fire break. You see lines of people with buckets, some shirtless, hauling from the rivers and canals, hurrying, passing things as district overseers and samurai charged with maintaining order and guards and watchmen who protect the city from fire try to organize the effort. And you hear screams coming from one of the buildings nearby. What do you do as smoke is billowing through the air and like cherry blossoms, embers fall?
Yeah, this city amongst the other cities, but this city it has been good to her, and she makes her way. She just breaks out into a sprint, passing through a couple of these shirtless men that are like passing these buckets of water to a nearby burning building. But she's heading towards where some of these screams are coming from, and she scoops up a little child that's like just like bewildered, doesn't know where her mama or dad is. Sort of like skips her up in her hand and passes her over to one of these guards as she gets to this the foot of this burning building.
Yeah, you reach the street where the buildings are aflame. And as you pass the little child over, the guard looks very startled to see you there and to see someone like you rushing to help. But he takes the little girl and he rushes back and places her in the arms of a woman who has clearly fled from the fire. You can see her kimono has streaks of soot on it. There are some burns on her arms, nothing too bad, and he shoves the child in her arms. You're not sure if this is her child or not. This man may know that it is hers, or it may just be the closest person nearby. But he shoves the child into her arms and begins motioning towards the lines of people with buckets to try to clear a way into one of these buildings. And as the smoke shifts, you see a billow across the entrance to the house, and you can see inside there seems to be shadowy shapes moving. What are the rest of you doing?
Koga will have moved with a grace and a spryness that definitely doesn't, if you were to read the book by its cover, he would have shocked you at how fast he moved. He's been waiting for the next fire, and he's on task. So he's moving straight to this burning building, and may have seen a lot of what you just described, the child being scooped up and handed off, and now he's moving towards this burning building with a fierce determination to solve this riddle.
And if you will look on roll 20, you will see as you start to peer inside from the outside where the street is burning to the interior of this building.
Oh my God.
Only one that you can currently reach. And you do hear shouts and coughing from inside, barely over the roar of the flames and the crash of buildings falling to the ground outside.
Jeepers.
For Hanbei, as he, because we're not together, right? We're all our own.
I mean, you're
Like-
in the same general area. You have all
Okay.
rushed toward the fires to help.
Right. So I think Hanbei, he's a samurai, so he's wearing like the kind of red leather-clad, like almost studded leather samurai outfit, and he's got his helmet, no face mask on, but kind of the helmet that kind of extends past his neck, and he's running forwards towards the fire, almost in a panic, but kind of he's a samurai and can't show fear or anything, so he's trying to keep a calm face. But as he gets up to the flames, and you can see this child and these other couple figures, and he probably sees Koga running up towards that building, and at first he doesn't really know if he should try to join the line to try to help put water on the fire, or you grab one of those poles and start tearing it down. But if I would hear the scream or the coughing from the building as well, then I would like to run up to it, and if assuming the building has kind of that paper walls almost in some of the areas,
Yes.
I would draw my katana with a mighty like whooshing, and just try to chop a hole through it, and just make an opening like somewhere in here, or whichever place would be appropriate. But getting into the building immediately, or trying to make an extra opening for whoever's inside to get out.
Yes, you absolutely do that. You draw your sword and with practiced strokes cut an opening in the wall. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as this sudden inrush of air brings a rush of fire out.
Okay, that is going to be a 19.
But you
Flying.
expected this, and your samurai reflexes lead you to withdraw, spinning gracefully to the side as the fire gouts past. And you can see inside a woman trying to lift from a bed an older man who seems to have collapsed from the smoke or from fear, you are not sure.
Okay.
And all of you noticed this gout of fire from the wall as a samurai comes and strikes through.
Koga will be tearing some strips of cloth away from his pouch and wetting them with his water skin and handing them to all of the people that have arrived before we prepare, because I'm assuming he's been around the block, and I'm assuming that we're all thinking the same thing. So he's going to apply some wet cloth to his face and encourage the others to do the same.
Absolutely. Immediately she takes from Cougar this wet cloth and just ties it around her face as she like begins to begins to move forward, and then like takes one of these buckets that are just by the side, takes one of these buckets of water, and she just like rushes in after the samurai.
All right. You are in the fire,
Yeah,
in the building.
having a drawn blade with no physical foes that he can really use it on, he's going to sheath his sword. And then almost like step out of the way so the others who now have water buckets and rags, just let them kind of come in as I'm doing that probably. And then, yeah, do we see Rumiko also? Or
Yeah, so Rumiko went in as soon
right,
as she
you're
gets in. Oh, sorry.
gotcha. I got the names mixed up because I had everything minimized. But so is it Kudo? I think is the
Kano.
Kano.
John.
Oh.
Yeah.
And actually, a Kano would have been scouting around the buildings and thinking someone set the fire. So, so he's kind of patrolling in the building from the outside, looking for people running away from it. That that looks suspicious.
And you do see a bunch of people running away. Most of them look panicked and afraid. There's nothing that you would connect with suspicious activity on them. You only see people running or standing, staring agape. But as you look across for a brief moment, the flames flare up and the wind shifts and blows the smoke aside, and you see the face of a woman. And instead of fear or shock or numb disbelief, you see exuberance in her face, exultation, sheer joy. And then the wind dies down and the smoke and flames cut her off from your vision. But you saw her. Someone was here. Someone who had a very different reaction from everyone else.
Yeah. Kano would make a mental note of the details of the lady's features and try to head to where he saw her and be looking for any kind of evidence that might have been left behind. I
Oh.
see if he can pick up
Yeah, you're not going
L.
to be able to get there right now. It's kind of blocked by the fire, as it were. But you got a good look at her, and you are sure that if you saw her again, you would remember this face. You would recognize this woman.
Inside the burning room, since the girl is like coughing, but she's not like fallen down or anything, can I try to like get her out?
Yes, she is trying to. She's doubled over. She can't quite lift this man on her own, but if you shove her aside, coughing, she can make her way out through the wall.
Okay, can I just because the others are in the room, can I speak to them and say, "You two, get the men," and then I will like try to take her out, and that way Koga and Rumiko can tag team him.
Yes, and I'm gonna hang on one second. I'm gonna pull your characters onto the map here real quick, because as you get close to the fire over here,
Okay.
Um,
That's okay.
yeah, you feel something hit you
Oh, snap. Okay.
from in there, from inside. Let's see. Let me pull. And you can kind of show me roughly where you are in the room. I'm assuming you were probably getting her out the door, so you'd probably be over here. But
Yeah, I'd be the one that'd be there
Yeah.
closest to this gentleman
someone,
with Rumiko.
yeah, would be over there. I think Rumiko probably would be, and
Can I just say I love this already? This is amazing.
Me too. I'm freaking out.
yeah. And I'm gonna put you kind of. You said you were flanking around the other side of the building, Jaren. So I'm going to put Kudo just up here, but yeah, in between the two burning buildings in the alley, and yeah, you're not sure what struck you. You feel like the flame lash out at you and try to impact your back. So let me roll the attack. Oh dear, and it catches you completely by surprise as
Jesus.
yeah, as something slams into your back, and it feels not just like fire, but like a blade or a claw cutting into your back, and the rags already torn. Well, not rolling particularly well there, fortunately.
Jeepers.
Yeah. You take sorry, that was crit, so yeah. 6, 8, 9, 10, 16 damage. 6 slashing and 10 fire damage. As something reaches out from a malevolent spirit from inside, perhaps, from in this burning fire.
Is that still against Hanbei, right?
No, not
or was
against
that?
Hanbei. Against against Rumiko.
Okay.
And roll initiative, everyone. Or actually, let
Oh
me.
boy.
Yeah, actually, I have to add turns for you all, so hang on.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And you can just, if you have your character sheet set up, you can just hit initiative. If you don't, just roll your initiative and I can add it in.
Do you have a way to make the tokens under our control? Because if so, I can put it
They
directly
should
in.
be under your control, but
I've got 6.
I don't know if that is working properly or not.
Let me.
I don't think it is.
If you can shrink this one, I can do it on this new one.
Yeah,
I don't know what the deal was before, but
yeah, sometimes they're weird like that.
Okay.
If you drag your own token onto the board, I can shrink it and you should be able to control it. Or you can try and control them yourself, but
Oh baby.
oh, that's not right.
shit. How do I shrink this guy?
Usually, well, I can shrink it for you, and
Oh,
then you can
fantastic. Really great.
move them where you want. Perfect. And let me reveal what just attacked you in the fire.
I don't want to.
Yeah, and and interestingly enough, it also attacked the man on the bed.
Oh man.
Oh,
Yep,
no.
man, but- Let me grab that token.
What the flip is that thing? It's a flipping dragon.
No, it's not. It's sort of an approximation because I don't have enough room to upload every token possible. But yeah, just sort of lashing out at you with from the fire. And does everyone have their initiative? Oh, I have to re-add the initiative of the. Everyone got their initiative?
Yeah, I'd like to use a die, a superiority die to ambush, so that I could get a higher initiative. So I'm going to roll one more d8.
Sure.
Which is that was the 2.
Hey, we have a battle master, do we? Yeah.
so it would be in total it's actually 8. I don't know why that didn't come up now on there. So that's 8 initiative.
So, Ty, what's your dex? Okay, I don't know why that happened.
I rolled an A as well.
Yeah, what's your dex bonus?
+2.
Ian?
Yeah, what is my dex bonus is +1.
Okay, so Jaren will go before you.
Got it, excellent.
But he also doesn't really see what's going on, so. Hanbei, you're up first.
Okay. Would I hear Rumiko cry out or anything from getting hit, or the old man for that matter?
The old man is unconscious on
Oh,
the.
right.
But yes, you hear Rikiko call out.
Okay. I will be escorting the girl out. Probably she's coughing, and I hear the cry. I turn around. I'll just shove her out into the street.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna rush back in. Can I see, or from where I'm at without moving, can I see any like of the elemental or whatever this thing is?
Yeah, you see something that looks like a demon emerging from the fire, and its form is forever shifting and
Okay.
weaving. You only thing that seems consistent about it are sharp claws and wings and a grinning mouth. All the rest of it seems to be made up of continually moving and dancing flames.
Okay. I am going to run up here then. 1, 2, and can I draw my sword as a? I forget what action
as
that
you-
is, but
Yeah,
um,
as you.
I'd like to get, I guess, one space away from it, and then I'm going to point my sword, my katana, and I'm going to shout at it, "Foul demon, fight me!" And I would like to compel it to a duel if I can spend a spell slot.
Yeah, sure.
That will be a wisdom save of 10, please.
Yep. I don't think this thing is very wise, so yeah, it fails. It turns hissing towards you, and you.
Gonna go from like this to like grabbing the sword.
Lucky you're a brave samurai and you show no fear.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. As
So
it
that's my-
turns towards you.
That'd be my move and spell for action. So that's it from Hanbei.
All right, excellent. Koga.
Kogo's a little torn, but because Hanbei is here and he's drawing the attention of the creature. Wait, is this the creature or is this the creature? Oh, why
There's
can't I-
two
there
of
we go.
them you can see at the moment.
Oh god. I think he's going to grab the elderly man and start to drag him out while looking at Rumiko as if to say, "Have you got this?" Because if she doesn't, he's happy to stay. But you know, he's wanting a signal. He wants to get this guy out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. So my quick question was, I just took damage and I didn't realize I just took damage. That was me that got attacked, right?
That was you, yeah.
Yeah.
How much? What was that? 16?
16
Yeah.
damage.
All right, I'll take that in a second. Yeah, what had happened as this thing flames on her back and she goes down on like a one knee, like just totally startled from where this is. But you can see that she doesn't seem like she's got this at all.
Okay. So then instead of I'm good. I'm glad. Instead of taking the elderly man out, Koga's going to step up in front of, I can't move my character, but right adjacent to Rumiko, and I will throw a dagger at the nearest one that Hanbei has just challenged to a duel. That doesn't break anything for you, does it, Adrian, when I attack it?
I
I don't
don't
believe so.
think so. I think it has to just focus on me, but I don't think if it gets attacked, I don't think so.
Beautiful. So Koga will throw a dagger. He just pulls a dagger from nowhere and throws this dagger. Let's see how we go. I believe I get to.
Oh, let me pause just for a second. So it does say that if a creature friendly to me damages the target or casts a harmful spell on it, it will end the spell, I believe.
Okay, well instead then what I will do is I will cover Rumiko. Because the creature that is closest to Rumiko is now being drawn by Hanbei. So I will stand where I am adjacent to Rumiko, and if I can see this other creature, I can throw a dagger. That's within my range, so that's fine. So I'll throw a dagger across the room.
All right, make an attack.
I will. I cannot wait. I'm very excited. So I'm going to throw this bad boy. Why did I roll with it? Did I just roll that with advantage?
It auto does, but if you don't have it selected, you just use the first one.
Yeah, that was weird.
19 will hit, absolutely, either way.
Yeah, 19 will hit. So this is going to be pretty juicy. I'm going to expend a superiority die because we got a couple of battle masters in this. So this is going to do 1d4 plus 2 plus another d8 worth of damage. This is going to be pretty juicy. Actually, I lie. This is going to do 1d4 plus 2 because I also have the fighter feature of thrown weapon fighting. So this is going to do some juicy little damage right here. Where's my damage thing? I'll just roll a d4.
If you click the dagger under there, I think it should, yeah.
Oh yeah, this.
So
wait,
yeah,
right there. Yeah.
yeah.
Sweet
If you
as.
click the dagger, yeah.
Cool. So that's going to do 7 plus another 2. So it'll do 9, and then I'll roll a d8. So it's going to do 15 points of damage to this little beastie here.
And as your dagger flies whirling through the smoke and the flame and hits it, it explodes into a shower of cinder and ash. And as it does, it rolls over its companions, seeming to cause no issues whatsoever. But Hanbei, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
Here goes.
I think you might just be out of that range, Ian.
Yeah, you're just out, Ian.
So like,
But,
I'm just almost like parry the
again-
flame, but turning away.
Again, you are lithe and dexterous, and you turn away, averting your gaze and avoiding the worst of this. So you will take half of 9, 4
Okay.
fire damage as this thing explodes
Woo.
and catches the back of your arm.
Okay.
And can I see? Am I able to see this creature as well, the one that's further away, or is that blocked by flame?
That is blocked
Visibility.
by flame. That one is. You do not see this one. That one would be seen
Okay.
by Kudo if he came through, though.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, Koga, his hand already half drawing another dagger, as if to throw it at this creature right in front of him, but seeing that almost catastrophic immolation, he holds back, and now he turns to Rumiko, and he's ready to assist Rumiko with whatever she needs. So that's his turn. Holy
All
moly.
right. Yeah. This little demon is furious at Hanbei for the insults and the challenge, and it leaps through towards him from the fire. And as it does, you see for a moment something that looks like a laughing woman's visage just flash before your eyes. You're not sure if you saw this with your eyes or in your mind, but it will a 15 hit you, Hanbei?
Just, yes.
It distracts you just enough to get past your guard. And it will deal 3 fire and 2 slashing damage to you.
Okay. So that's another 5. Okay.
But that is all it can do, as it hisses angrily at you. And
Okay.
let's-
Yeah, I'm gonna like shout out in pain from that probably.
Yeah. All right. Kudo. Or Kato.
Okay. Well, hearing the screams from inside, I would glance around real quick to see if there's an entrance to the building near me.
There is not, but you you know that the walls are literally paper thin, and if you go between 2 board posts, you would easily be able to punch or kick or slice your way through.
Okay. So I think he would just go straight eight down out through the wall, probably doing a kick to rip the wall, and I would try to make it towards the entrance where everyone else had gone in
Yeah.
as far as
So
I could, which is 40 feet.
give me, as you jump through the wall, literally kicking out and rolling in, give me a dexterity save to avoid the flames that come licking through the new opening you have just made.
Uh,
/R, I think.
yeah.
Or you can roll it on whatever and just tell me whatever you get.
Okay. For some reason, it is not doing the dice roller for me.
I think it's just the slash was in the it should be first. So
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's /R, not R/.
Oh, duh.
Or if you have the character sheet set up, just click the dexterity save
There
on
we
it.
go. I forgot the space between the R and the 1d20.
Yeah.
So
But with a 17,
17.
yeah, you are lithe and agile, and your years of training and honing your body to keen perfection of discipline allows you to dodge between the licking tongues of flame. And as you enter into the building, between the smoke and the fire, you see to your left a woman lying collapsed on the floor, a demon from nightmares with forever shifting form right in front of you. And as the smoke swirls, you can barely make out Hanbei, a brave samurai, facing off against another dancing demon of the flame.
Okay. So I will spend a key point to do flurry of blows on this demon creature in front of me.
All right, roll them.
This one's a 14.
That will hit.
Second one's a 3.
That will miss. You have a third attack, right? You're doing flurry of blows?
Yeah, I assumed the first attack was kicking through the wall.
No. That was you can do that. I'm assuming
As
you
a
are strong enough to kick through the wall and dive through. You wouldn't
That's a
have seen
flavor kick.
anything if you hadn't. You're a monk. You can burst through a paper wall.
and 18.
That will also hit.
So
Um,
that should have. Well,
that's impressive.
yeah,
Oh, building explodes.
that was supposed to be a 1d4, not 11.
Yep.
Oh, it got me crying.
Yeah, apparently we have a Grand Master in the building.
It's like the one
We are
punch and like the shockwaves through all the pillars.
Yeah.
So the first one will do 4.
All right. As your hand hits the flaming demon, your ki and your discipline prevent it from burning you, but similarly, it seems to be somewhat resistant to your attacks as well.
And then the second one's a 4 as well.
Same deal, but it does look weakened from the blows.
Okay.
All right.
And I will spend a second key point on. Oh, nope, never mind. They're both bonus actions.
Yep.
However, since I hit with 2 flurry of blows, and I'm way of the open hand,
Oh.
and
Oh.
the target it gets 2 choice things. First, it can't take reactions until my next turn, and then second, it needs to make a strength saving throw against the 15 DC.
Oh, these things are not particularly strong.
Ooh.
Why are you not rolling? Great, come on. Oop. I might break out my actual dice if this keeps.
I was just thinking of doing that for myself because R20 is really bugging me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It fails.
I will push it 15 feet towards the rest of the group.
5, 10, 15.
That's amazing.
As you knock it through the last remnants of this paper wall between the wooden beams supporting it, you exhale as you literally fan the flames away from you with your fierce strikes.
And if I have any movement left, I would try to get over by this lady.
Yeah, you've got plenty of movement left. You use 10 feet. So, yeah, you can get there or where?
Let's go diagonal, so I'm in front of her.
Here?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. And if that's your turn,
Yep.
we will go to the sadly surprised. I'm so sorry about that crit, Ian. Rumiko.
Well, just to be sure, did I get was it 16 points in total?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I took that. Super. So like she went down on like one knee, her back totally burning, eyes are, like stinging, and like throat like just choking up with the smoke. She can see this man who's just in front of her, this old man. She like wants to grab him up. And my question to you, Jill, is what is this person here, the green thing? What's that?
That is the woman that Hanbei basically shoved out. She's actually run far away by now.
Got it. So what I want to do is grab the guy with one hand, like really get him good, and move in this direction towards towards here, however far I can get.
Yeah, whatever your movement is, I'm gonna say it's halved because you're
Okay.
carrying the guy.
Absolutely. So this is
yeah.
5. Is this 10? This is
There's
15.
a measuring tool, so the holes, yeah. So it's about 20 feet to get to the hole.
Hey,
Oh,
Jill.
okay. So I will
Yeah.
do 15.
Oh, somebody interrupt. But on the in-call messages, it just flashed up that the call will end in 10 minutes. That's limited to 1 hour.
Oh, okay. Well, I will just do the try it thing for now, and if it lets me do that quickly, we will. Yeah, okay. Remind me to cancel this at the end.
Okay, just wanted to let you know before it cuts us all out.
Yeah, yeah,
Worst case, we can always just recycle hour after hour.
yeah. Yeah. I just have to remember to. All right, we're good.
Yeah, so she drags this old man over the bed, with one hand. The other hand is like just sloshing still with this this bucket that's like now half empty, water just like splashing onto the wooden floor.
Yeah. So you managed to get this man over near the exit. I'm gonna say he's like, you're basically just half carrying, half dragging him. He's right there. You would still have a movement and a bonus action if you wanted to do anything else. Or I mean, an action and a bonus action. I'm gonna say that was like your movement to.
Yeah,
grab.
absolutely. So movement and a bonus action. You're saying?
Oh, I meant action and bonus action. I was gonna say picking him up, and since he wasn't resisting, is just an
Yeah.
interaction. So
Yeah, she wants to get through the door. That's basically she wants to get through where this other person. If she can get out, she's going to do that for sure.
yeah, if you dash, you can haul him out the rest of the way.
Yeah, for sure, she does that. So we're
Alright.
sort of out, and just so that you know what's going to happen afterwards is the first thing she does is like, I mean, he seems like other than coughing and stuff, he seems like he's fine and stuff. So she just takes this water bucket and just over the top of her as it goes down into a close into the back, just like smoke coming out. She's going to chuck it and she's going to turn around ready to come in, but that'll be the next round.
Excellent. You have saved the man. Or at least you've gotten him out of the building. He's unconscious, but you know, he's not going to burn to death at least. Which brings us to Hanbei.
Okay. Hanbei is kind of just been struck by the creature and stunned by its changing appearance, and he's going to just try to take a downward slicing up two-handed strike, so I'm not going to get my dueling bonus, but I am going to attempt to smite it.
Alright.
Oh, wait, what happened? Why did I do everything?
Because
Oh,
Roll20 does everything for
okay.
you.
Did
Got it.
everything.
Okay, so 15 to attack, and then it's a two-handed, so that's only 3, but I will smite it if that 15 hits.
Yeah, that absolutely hits.
Okay, why is smite not showing up for me? Sorry, I'm having a divine smite. Okay, it's one spell slot for 2d8. So that's another 5, so that's 8 total.
And does this do anything additional against fiends?
So it's gonna do an extra d8 against undead or fiends. Yes.
Yeah, okay, roll an extra d8.
Sweet.
Oh my lord.
So that's 13 then total.
And with that, it explodes in a shower of sparks. And I'm going to need
Oh no.
you. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you smash it. into
The
oblivion as
19
you
on the
do.
dexterity
I
saving
need you
throw.
and Koga to make dexterity saves.
That's a natural one. I put
Well,
all my
yeah.
power into the swing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's fine as this blast of hot air and coals is mostly directed at Hanbei, who slew him. And you will take 3 points of fire damage, but Hanbei, you will take 7. As this
Ouch,
thing
mama.
explodes and you feel burning ash and pain, but also darkness lessened. Which is ironic because it was literally burning fire, but you're easier in your soul. Now this one is going to turn in fury, or well, actually, do you want to move or?
For me, I
Use
just
some
would
second?
probably stagger back and like try to like wipe any embers out of my eyes.
Yeah.
But no, I'm gonna remain in that spot. Yeah.
Or I figured you would, but the other one is then going to turn, hissing and shifting through 1,000 different forms, like a candle, like a campfire, like an inferno, and it is going to hurl itself up towards Kudo, and it is going to make an attack at you. But it will miss spectacularly. Which brings us back to Koga.
Interesting. What would Koga do? He'd put a hand on Hanbei's shoulder while Hanbei's wiping the embers and the ash out of his face, and he's peering into his face to make sure he's okay. And Koga would probably ask Hanbei what he wants to do. Like, do we stay and fight, or do we flee?
From where I am, I can see this other lady, right? On the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be like, get them all out!
Okay, so Koga is going to. Koga can get to the. Oh, actually, this could be fun. Is there like a footstool or something on the ground at my feet?
I'm going to say yes. Of course there is.
Great. Koga's going to pick the footstool up, and he's going to attempt to strike at this demon. Just for the fun of it. Not really, because I've got a plan.
Do you want me to move you up next to it, or are you going to
Yes,
throw it?
please. I'm going to move. Yeah, I'm going to hit him.
Yeah.
Because wait. Oh, this is the one that Jaren, you lit this guy up, yeah?
Yeah, it's wounded.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not going to hit it with the stool. I'm actually going to attempt to make a grapple check with it.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, that is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'll move up, and then I will attempt to make this grapple, and I will use another superiority dice to add my d8 to the check. So let's do an athletics check. Yeah, I'm going to add that d8. Oh my god. That's a 6. That's a 6
You
total.
grab out for it, but unfortunately, it is like trying to grab a flame in your hand, and you move to grab it, but as you do, the only thing you get for a natural 1 and a 1 on your superiority dice is 3 points of fire damage as you reach into the heart of this thing, and not having ki to protect you, you are trying to grab a piece of fire, and
Interesting.
you yank
Very
your hand
interesting.
back.
As a bonus action, I will attempt to make that grapple again with my grappling strike, and let's see if we can get it. That's a little better. I can't add my superiority dice to this one though, so it's going to be an 11 total.
You are literally trying to grab a being of flame and
You mischievous little imp.
darkness. Yes.
So I'll take more
Yes.
damage.
No, you won't take damage this time, because as you try and grab it, you yank your hand back in time, just in time.
Okay,
But
and I will maybe say to sorry, Jaren, what was your character's name?
Kudo.
Kudo. I will say to Kudo to get her out, because you're closest to that door, and I'll try and keep this thing busy so that it doesn't explode and do damage to her as well.
Kudo would is kind of smile, says, I got this. Go help the others.
Okay. So I will. I mean, that's my turn anyway. I can't get any further.
Yeah.
If I run past, it's going to punch me in the bum.
Yeah. And that brings us to Kudo.
Okay. You'll see him crouch down like he's going for a sweep kick. But as he does so, he brings his hand down on the lady, and he's gonna cast Spare the Dying as his action, which stabilizes her at 0 hit points.
All right.
And then he'll spend a key point to finish the maneuver and do a sweep kick, and a punch for flurry of blows again.
Can you do that when you're? You can spare the
Yeah.
dying as an action, and I
Yes.
think you can only do flurry of blows when you take a when you take the attack action.
I'd have to look at that. Because I know it is a bonus action.
Yeah, I believe it's a bonus action when you take the attack action, though, not because I had to deal with that when I played a monk myself.
Okay. In that case, Ace, as a bonus action, I'd like to pick the woman up and use a key point for step a mid to disengage age,
Yeah, you can totally do that.
which also doubles my jump speed.
All
So
right.
for my movement, I'm gonna jump as far towards out of the building as I can get, carrying this lady.
Awesome.
I love
You
monks.
reach down, and
That's
as
awesome.
you touch her, you implore the kami to spare this woman's life, the good kami to protect her from these evil demons. And as you do, you feel her heartbeat steady beneath your hand, and you sweep her up onto your shoulder and kick off, jumping back through the hole you made in the wall with her over your shoulder, out into the cool night air and away from the burning building. Awesome.
The Japanese Batman. Like literally the
Yeah.
Japanese Batman.
Basically, yeah. Yeah. You are well, you have saved her. She is well out of there. And I
Oh my
honestly,
goodness.
if you want to go back in, you can. You've probably got at least 30 feet of movement left.
Yeah. I think knowing what's there, I would probably try to make it around the building to go in the way the others had gone in. That way I'm close to the party, if it's possible.
I mean, that's going to take you a couple rounds. Well, actually, it might just take you one round. You are a monk, but yeah, let's see how far you can get with 30 feet.
Yeah, probably take me this and my movement on that route if I do step a bend again.
Yeah, actually, this is probably
Because it doubles my speed as well.
Yeah. So, all right, there you are.
Awesome. And that will be. I'll put the lady down and move as far as I can.
Yep. All right. That brings us back to Rumiko.
Yeah, absolutely. So Rumiko having this man outside, both probably coughing and spluttering a little bit. She has like no interest in going back in at all, but she thinks of like Hanbei, this samurai in red leather, and Kuga, the older man, that are inside there. and for just like a split second, she sort of thinks of she's by like the waterside. She's like, I don't know, 11 years old, sitting next to her father, and they're deep in conversation. She's asking him all these questions, and she says like, "But father, how will we know who is honorable?" And again, it just flicks back as her father says, "As water reflects the face, so a man's heart reflects the man." And she just rips off this wet cloth that was around her face and shing, takes out a blade as she sprints back in to where Hande and Kuga are.
Yeah. So if you're sprinting in, you can get, up by, you can get here or any of the, yeah. Oh, there you go.
It's a fight. We're having a fight.
Yep.
Oh, babe, we're having a fight.
Super. That's a movement, right?
Yeah, that's
Can
the
I
movement.
move? Yeah, but if I do dash, I can move further.
Yes.
Super. What she does is she sees next to, I think it's Hanbei's the one in grey.
I'm the red
Yes.
one.
I'm sorry.
Hanbei's the red one, and
Super.
Koga is
Yeah,
up next to
absolutely.
it.
So
Yeah,
she
Koga's the grey.
goes. She goes. Let me just take 1 second. She goes. Let me just. Yeah, super. She goes literally alongside.
Koga.
Koga. Yeah, as I just let me just move that. She literally moves side by side with him. Side by side with him as her blade is like drawn in front. That's all she can do. That's it.
All right. That brings us to Hanbei.
Okay. I
You've
think
just-
his eyes are clear now, and this figure kind of rushes past, and he realizes is that Rumiko has re-entered, and as I can see now that the last of these flame spirits are now like cornered between my allies, I'm gonna come up and join them as well. But instead of striking, I'm just gonna like hold my blade towards him, and I'm going to use in my last spell slot, which I think these are kind of like flavored as not spells, just kind of, I don't know what kind of powers they'd be in
Yeah,
Your
they're-
force of
Shogun,
will.
but I'm going to shout at it and command him, "Tell us, who is your master? Who do you serve?" And that's going to be another DC 10, please.
Okay. That is pretty cool. And it fails. And you hear.
Actually,
I serve the fire. I serve vengeance. Fukashu. Which literally means vengeance.
okay. That's cool. That's a move and an action. That's it for me.
And
No
it
cheeky
is.
bone?
What was that?
No cheeky bones that are going to help us out of this sticky predicky.
I don't have any bonus actions I can do for an attack, so.
Oh no!
Yeah, no, that's gonna be it for me. Hopefully it's gonna go for me again, though.
Oh, yeah, it's pissed at you beyond any of the others. And it is absolutely focused on you now for the insults. And it tries to snake its hand out at you, but I don't think a 12 is going to hit.
No, that I'm able to kind of parry aside.
Yeah, you dodge gracefully back, batting away these flaming claws, the one part of it that isn't shifting and changing eternally, with your sword having gotten the measure of it now.
Can I take a reaction?
Sure.
Absolutely. She has sentinel. So as this thing goes to attack Hanbei,
Yeah.
She just like lunges forward with a slice. And
Are we just the best party ever, or what?
We're pounding this thing.
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
ooh, yeah,
It's
23.
finger guns.
So she does yes. Longbow rolls. Was that twice I hit it? If it was, then take the first one, which is a 6.
That's
It's
one-handed damage.
one-handed or two-handed.
Oh, it's one-handed.
Okay, then yeah, 6 damage. Your sword bites into it, and it hisses and recoils as part of the flames are just sheared away from its body and sputter out. It is barely standing. Which brings us back to Koga.
Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna try and take a swing at it with this footstool now that I'm up close to it.
All
Let's
right.
let's roll it. Tavern Brawler means I'm proficient in improvised weapons
Yeah.
because I'm a piece of shit. So we're rolling the d20 because I can't be bothered setting that thing up. It's gonna be a 5 plus my proficiency. So it's gonna be like I think it's like a 7 to hit.
Unfortunately, that is
8
not
to hit.
quite enough to hit it. And it just sort of leans back out of the way, dodging past this cushion stool that you are flailing at it in its direction.
That's okay. I understand. As a bonus action, I will then throw a dagger at it, and we will see if we can kill it. And I can choose to add superiority if I want to. So it's gonna be a 12 to hit.
That will not hit, unfortunately,
Flashes by.
as you are just a little bit
Hemorrhaging
too
daggers.
close. Yeah, it is all right. There's going to be plenty of daggers laying around in the burned wreckage of the streets.
Yippee!
Right?
That is my turn.
All right, that brings us back to Kudo.
Okay. First question is: do I see any of the firefighters or people that are trying to put out the fire?
Oh yeah, all along the street there are people. They've pulled down a couple of the houses that were burning, and the blaze looks like it's starting to get under control. There are firefighters with buckets of water.
I would yell for one of them to help the lady that I put down. And
Absolutely, they see a monk, a holy man, shouting for one of them to aid this woman, and knowing that that would be good karma, 2 of them rush over and pick her up and begin to pull her away from danger.
and then with my movement, I would like to get it to the party if it's possible.
I mean, you can go through the wall and get to them
Yeah,
easily.
I would try to kind of go round and then through the wall.
Yeah, if you just want to kick through the wall again, or even go through the hole you already have.
I would imagine I'd probably just dive through the wall and do like a somersault coming up with my quarterstaff rod.
That's
All
amazing.
right.
Then move up to this fiend.
Here? Yeah, I say your movement can get you there. Give me a
Yeah.
dexterity saving throw to avoid the flames, though.
Okay. 20. My mod is plus 2. That will be 17.
Yeah, easily. Again, you weave through the whipping flames, jumping over the debris and falling timbers on the floor until you come up behind this demon, flanking it with a still strong-looking elderly man holding in one hand a dagger and in the other a cushioned stool.
And then for my action, I'll strike with my quarterstaff and then spend a key point for flurry of blows.
All right, so give me the quarterstaff. You might not need the flurry of blows.
That will be a 15 to hit.
That hits. Give me damage.
And then it is 1d. That will be 6 damage.
And as you bring your quarterstaff down through the center of this thing, you somehow strike at the whirling ember that is its heart and crush it beneath the butt of your staff. As it does, a rush of hot air and sparks come blowing out, and I need you all to make dexterity saves.
Oh,
We're
no.
so dumb. We're surrounding it.
Yep, but
A
hey,
7.
That's 15.
19.
all right, 3 passes.
No!
Koga?
Oh, I got a 7.
Oh, okay, so everyone but Koga is quick enough to look away from this exploding
7 damage.
demon, and the rest of you take 3 points of fire damage, but Koga, you take 7 as this thing just sort of full force blasts you in the face and singes your eyebrows rather badly.
Koga can do this all day,
But it is
and
gone.
maybe even all night.
And I am going to say you are out of initiative, and provided no one is unconscious, you can, coughing and sputtering and covered in soot and a few burn marks, make your way out of the burning building into the cool night air, where coughing and gasping, you see those you rescued being attended to, and the firefighters valiantly and bravely, but not so bravely as you lot, who went running into the burning building, which no one else was near brave or crazy enough to do.
As
Put out these fires.
Rocking out, I would look over my companions and to see who's the most injured, and
Yeah.
That might be Rumiko, I think.
Yeah, but you see, even as you're looking over, even as what's your character's name again? It's Kano is sort of like looking over the group and stuff, and your eyes maybe meet. You see that her eyes like lowers down to the ground as she's just like brushing away some of these like smolders and stuff. So she doesn't actually answer you. She just sort of looks down.
Yeah, I think similarly for Hanbei, who's been burned and singed in several places, and a lot of his armor has like smoke, just scars on it. But he drops down onto his knees and pulls off his samurai helmet and just kind of like lets his hair whoosh out behind him, and then he just kind of like composes himself and like on his knees, closes his eyes, holds his sword and gently sheathes it, and in doing so, he's going to lay on hands himself actually. But it's manifesting this kind of calming himself after this experience, and I would like to use 15 of my lay on hands points to heal myself, please.
Yeah, you center yourself, push past the pain, and as you do and find your inner balance, you manage to just put out the last little embers, pour some water over your head, compose yourself, and stand up feeling much less injured and looking much better than you did just a moment ago.
Yeah. And after this,
The burns
I'll
weren't actually too bad.
okay. And seeing what the samurai's doing and kind of guessing what's going on from his little bit of monk training. Kudo would just walk up to the other two, class them on the back, and I will spend both of my first level spell slots on cure wounds.
You.
And it will be almost like a tingling sensation, like I'm pushing my chi and life force into them. And the Oko will get 7 back, and the other one will get 6.
Nice. Koga will bow slightly, and then he's going to give all of you a small nod, and then move off to find somebody with authority who he can speak to, and he'll say over his shoulder on his way, "Wait here, I'll be back in a moment."
Yes, as you make your way across, you see the fire warden supervising the management of the blade, looking around, and he is talking to a man garbed in the robes of a district magistrate, and he is probably the person with the greatest authority here at the moment that you can see. An official of the shogunate.
Well, I mean, I would know I would obviously know the magistrate, but not personally, potentially. But I would definitely know the fire warden. So I will go over and perhaps make myself visible to the fire warden in his eye line, and wait for a moment to either be introduced or for a moment to speak to the fire warden when he's finished speaking to the magistrate.
Yeah, Daka, the fire warden, recognizes you, and he says, "Ah, are you all right? Motokane Koga, that was one of the bravest things I have ever seen anyone do, and the stupidest. Running
Yes.
into a burning building. I am shocked you came out alive. This," he gestures, "is Bunzo. He is a representative of the shogun here. He oversees this district in the city, and he has been charged by his master with stopping the cause of these fires. Did you see anything in there?"
Well, Koga will bow deferentially to the magistrate, and he will say, "Bonzo-san," and then he will turn to the fire warden and explain that there were how would this be explained in not a high fantasy theme? There were
Malevolent Kami.
yeah, very much so. Malevolent fire kami were afoot, but also that one of our number were able to communicate, and I got the impression that they were sent there because of the word vengeance that was used when describing who they served. So yeah, without casting any aspersions or making any accusations, just telling them the facts that I believe they may have been sent to start that fire.
He nods. "Yes, we have heard. We think all of these fires are being set. We do not know by who, but you are brave. You have experience. In the name of the shogun, I want you and your brave companions," he does not know that this is the first time you have met, "to help me investigate and find out the cause of these fires. who has been setting them and why. I am going now to interview some of the witnesses, the person whose shop the fire started in.
Just
If you
confirm.
are able to come, you are well enough, not injured, join me.
Kudo would be walking up, I imagine, by at this point and give a bow and wait to be recognized.
Yeah, Koga will beckon you all over, and then because he's never met you, we'll just sort of step aside and say, the stupid and brave companions.
Could I say one thing before it goes a bit too far? Is because as Cougar would have left just beforehand, sorry to go back in time for a sec, and like nodded for us to be there, she would have gone over to the old man that I imagine is like kind of crumpled against something, yeah, quite close by. Is that okay, Jill?
I imagine he would have kind of been picked up and carried away by now.
Got it. No
but
porous. So then, absolutely ignore what I just
Yeah.
said. Yeah, absolutely. We come over to Kugo.
I think it would be perfect timing for Hanbei too, because as he was standing up, he's basically looking back to the fire to like, what's the next thing that we need to do? Is there any more of these buildings that people are in? But seeing kind of the firemen all taking care of things and the perimeters now have been enclosed, and then seeing to where did that old man go? And then that's probably when he would see that you being beckoned over, and probably the girl, Rumiko, is already headed in that direction. I'm gonna like pick up my helmet, kind of not even put it back on, just kind of chase after with it under my arm. So, and that's when I'll come up after as well.
Yeah, and as Bunzo and Daka see you, obviously a fairly high status, wealthy young samurai, they bow in greeting to you and say, "Greetings. In the name of the Shogun, I commend you for your bravery and honor. You acted as a true samurai should, rushing into fire without fear of death."
I live to serve Shogun Tokugawa, or
Nods.
Tokugawa, I think
Yeah.
it was.
You're forgiven. You have smoke in
Kill
your
him!
eyes. Yeah. And he nods. If you are well, join me. I need to interview those who saw the fire start and then make a report. I believe you may be brave enough, and if everything Daka has said is true enough, quick-witted enough, despite your actions tonight, to figure out the cause of these blazes before the whole city burns.
At this, Kodo would look up and kind of motion and to get his attention.
He will look at you and nod his head.
And,
Priest?
yeah, I can tell you the cause. I know not the name or why, though. Oh, when I was looking round the back, there was a woman, and I would describe her taking joy in the fire, where everyone else was afraid and panicking.
He will draw his face into a line. Then we must find this woman. We must learn who she is and why she is starting these fires, why she is unleashing evil kami and yokai spirits into the city.
Hanbei would confirm. Hi, yes, what the priest says. The spirits in the flame. I thought I saw something just like what he described. What is your name, priest?
It's Kudo.
Kudo. I am Hanbei Tanaka.
And he'll give almost a perfect detail of the features of the merman. And I was unable to see where she went. But obviously she did not come the way of my companions, and she did not push past me.
They will nod. We will look for her, but this city, there are near 1 million people in it. We must track her down. We cannot just go on a description. We need names. We need more. We need to know where she dwells and what her reasons are. And then we can burn her.
Kudo would bow and just kind of ponder over the locations of the fires and see if he could maybe detect any kind of pattern. The locations.
As you are walking with the magistrate back towards the his house, which is also sort of the guard building for the district, it occurs to you that they've all kind of been near to or in these lower class districts, somewhat near the pleasure quarter, the floating city, or, well, floating district rather, that is known as the Yoshiwara. And as he leads you into the room, you see all of you kneeling, women and men in various states of shock, despair, pain, crying children. You see the woman that you rescued propped up, being attended to. Rumiko, you see the child that you scooped up, clinging to a woman in the building, and a man comforting or attempting to comfort a weeping woman. They all still, when the magistrate comes in, and bow, heads to the ground, completely still and silent before these mighty representatives of the shogun. Bunzo looks at them. Sit up. Tell me, who started this fire? Does anyone know them? And one of the women, trembling, raises her head. I do not know the name, my lord, but I saw it was my shop that the fire started in. There was a woman, she sniffs. A geisha, perhaps, wearing a fine robe, the richest brown with golden cranes upon it. She said she wanted to buy silk to have a kimono made. She looks pained. I was the finest silk merchant in the city. I wind the cocoons myself. My daughter, she helps me weave them into Bunzo. The quality of your wares is not an issue here. Tell us of this woman. She came in. She wanted to buy them. She was not satisfied with anything. I went to my warehouse in the back to see if I could find something finer still. When I came back, the shop was in flames. I shouted and ran to the warden. She looks at Daka, who nods, to ring the bells, but by then it was too late. Everything had taken. She must have spread oil, lamp oil, everywhere. The fire, it took so fast. It was not natural. As another woman, my shop was next to hers, and I saw this woman too come out. At first I thought nothing of it, but later, when the fire took, she shudders. And falls silent.
This geisha must pay for what she has done.
Then
But
it
how will she?
seems we know where to begin looking. I will stay here, supervise the cleanup, see to these people. I have not seen this woman myself, but you have a description, and one of you has. Find her.
Hi.
Go to Yoshiwara.
Yes. As, looking at his companions, I believe I know where to begin looking as well. All of the fires were in the lower districts near the pleasure district. It
And
would
yes,
make
the
sense.
pleasure district is Yoshiwara.
Yoshiwara. Okay.
Sure.
It is known as, and you would all know this, the floating city, not just because it is separated from the rest of the city by canals and water and built on reclaimed marshland, but because it is a place where everything is different, where the rules of society and the strict hierarchy is relaxed or turned upon its head, where weapons are forbidden, where geisha are allowed, where prostitution is practiced, where drinking takes place day and night, where there is kabuki and gambling, and where everyone knows you can go to forget the world and enter another like a dream. It is not a place where reputable samurai are seen, but everyone knows even daimyos go there sometimes in disguise. And as you set off,
Before she leaves, she goes to walk out, of course, with her comrades as we're talking quietly amongst ourselves, and she sort of stops beside this the small girl, and she pulls her hair back and like kneels down and smiles at her, and she puts her hands within these like rags that she has, and she pulls out this really just like a wooden doll, like basic, and like offers it to the girl and
the
says, "One
girl
day, perhaps." Sorry.
will look at you solemnly and silently and just reach up and touch the doll.
Excellent. She hands it over to the girl and says, "One day, perhaps, you will help me create better clothes than this." She smiles and winks and stands and follows her comrades out.
And as you go walking,
On the route, especially since we're following Kudo, who knows the way, I think it makes sense for Hanbei to kind of be a little bit not separated from him, but kind of more to specifically Koga and Rumiko. I want to, in character, would be, I owe you for your assistance in the fire. Thank you for your help. And he would introduce himself basically and express his appreciation.
You say this to Kudo?
To Koga and Rumiko, not excluding
And look,
Kudo, but
yeah,
I feel like
absolutely.
I feel like he's leading us, and so it's more.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. You
Yeah.
sense, if not see clearly, that Rumiko doesn't. She doesn't even lift her eyes to you. Actually, if anything, she's almost like it's almost like you're heat, like almost like this, like a burning oven, as her head is sort of more inclined away from you.
Koga will give you a little nod as he walks. He's adopted a stooped sort of posture, and he's kind of shuffling along. And he gives you a nod and says, "I've no doubt that you had it handled." And then he pats you on the back and then pretends to wipe some dust and embers off your armor, and then just continues walking with you.
Tell me What kind of man fights with a stool? I will ask, and you can see I'm kind of dusting off my armor too and straightening things, and I make there's apparently no attempts on my part to conceal my blade or my armor status. In fact, I'm almost trying to make it more visible or apparent that
Yeah.
I of my as we're approaching this red light district almost.
Daring them to tell you not to carry a sword.
And as Kudo hears this for the first time, like through all this, he's been perfectly serene, like I could pour of still water. But as you hear a kind of man would attack one at the store, he'll start laughing this deep belly laugh. It goes, "My master often did, and I had the bumps and bruises to prove it."
Yeah. So Koga, being an older man, will smile and nod and say, "Perhaps your master was a wise man after all." And he sort of chuckles, and then he looks at you very seriously and says, um, "When one wants to win a fight, everything becomes a weapon."
Kudo would just nod as as I have a couple theories as to why this is happening. I believe if someone in authority visited this district, it probably spurned this lady. It, it would make sense to me, seeing the fires are kind of spread near her, that perhaps one of the magistrates, aides demos, maybe even the shogun himself. Oh, oh, but it's only a theory. But if I was a lady who was spurned, I would seek vengeance against the person who spurned me. And what better way to get back at someone and an authority over the city than to hurt the city that they love?
Lighting our city of Edo aflame is it is a crime that should be punishable by death, no matter how earned or dishonorable it is for one of our officials to visit this place.
Kudo would not say the method of vengeance I don't agree with, but the logical thinking I can relate to.
And as you arrive at the Pleasure District, you see one of the guards outside the gates to this closed off district standing there, and he looks at you and he says, "Ho, surrender your weapons."
How many people are there?
There is just the one guard. It's morning, so the town this district seems to be, which is mostly operates at night and in the evening, seems to have sort of fallen into a drunken stupor and asleep, whereas the rest of the city is coming awake. Yoshiwara, the floating city, land of dreams, is just a mirror of the rest of Edo and drifting off into quiet sleep. There's only one man now, but he is big, and he does say, "By order of the Shogun, all who enter must leave their weapons here."
Not
Daimyo,
even not even looking up. She's almost saying it to herself, but it's loud enough, almost like a whisper on the wind. You can kind of hear it. She kind of says, still looking down. She says, we are under orders to find a geisha with golden craven cloth that had possibly started the fires here. We must enter.
He pauses at that, since you say that you are under the authority of the shogun yourself, and mention that you are looking for someone who started the fire, and fire is the great fear of everyone in this city. More than plague, more than invading armies, more than anything. So roll me a persuasion check. Convince him that you are allowed to carry weapons in this place.
Absolutely, absolutely. She's going to persuasion is this. She rolls. Let me just have a quick look. Terribly. So she wants to use a luck die. I'd like to use a luck die to change that actually.
Yeah, go for it.
So d20. She does do persuasion again.
Jeepers
Fucking
creepers.
He looks at
Yeah.
you, burned, ragged, a woman clearly not wealthy or well bred,
Absolute.
and he just laughs.
Silence!
You, on orders of the shogun, you. And I am a daimyo. Get out of here. You have no business here anyway, and no money for anyone here.
It's just one last thing that she does is when he says that her head is like this and her shoulders like slump down slowly as he's laughing, and she just puts her hands through her hair as her back straightens again, and she looks him in his eye. She says nothing else.
What do
As-
any of the rest of you do?
I think I would, as he's laughing, I would command him, silence! Do not disrespect the envoys of the Shogun. And then I'd start to walk forwards as if I'm just going to walk past him.
Yeah, give me an intimidation roll with advantage, because you do look intimidating as all get out right now.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a little better.
Yeah, and seeing you wearing your full armor, two swords of a samurai, burned and covered in ash and dust. He goes almost to raise his hand and try to stop you, but he closes his mouth and just steps aside, head down, in fear, because you do look like you are not here for pleasure, and he is very afraid.
Yeah, I will kind of pause halfway through the gate and just turn around and just, let's go. Motion for everyone to come. And yeah.
Kudo would definitely be following after you. Oh,
I love to think that Koga has been to this red light district a lot as an investigator mostly. So he would know this guy, and he's been standing at the back letting everyone else do the talking. And then as everyone moves past him, this big burly guy sees Koga and kind of like is startled, and Koga goes, we need to work on your manners, friend. And then he just sort of walks past and says,
Wait,
get him next time.
are they actually Koga? What is going on?
He just pats him on the shoulder and says, we'll work on your manners, friend. And then he sees him and he says,
recognize you. You're right.
he says, it's all business tonight. It's all business.
Yeah, he's just completely nonplussed. And as you walk in, the few people that are on the street stare in shocked silence at armed warriors walking through Yoshiwara, where the shogun has forbidden weapons where holy men do not step foot garbed as holy men, and where no one at all looks like you, and this aura of silence pervades, sort of spreading out from where you are. And as you look around, you see these tea houses, these pleasure houses. In the early morning light, have salt. 3 of them have salt spread across their thresholds in a thick white line. And you see, and all of you recognize as you step in, but you, Kudo, being a monk, know more than anyone else what this means. The people here are afraid of a demon. Salt to keep out demons. Protective charms and wards. Sticks of incense to try to drive away the darkness. This is a district where people are usually merry and cheerful. But even before you got here, there was fear. And you can all give me a perception check.
Perception.
Okay. Perception plus 3. That will be 15.
All right. Rumiko. What did you get, Koga?
Despite
Right, yeah.
my
Everyone but Hanbei, who is just standing there looking impressive and intimidating all the guards into staying away, noticed that at one of these tea houses, there is a white tag in a black frame, which signifies that someone is recently dead. And Koga, Kudo, and Rumiko, you hear chanting coming from inside the building. It seems you are not the only priest in Yoshiwara today. Kudo.
Okay. I think Kudo would want to investigate the chanting, knowing that priests don't normally come in this district, especially to perform their duties.
Yeah, absolutely. It's normally they bring the dead out to the temple and leave them by the back door, because very rarely do people who work or live in the pleasure district have the money for anything more. So this does strike you as unusual, and you can walk up to the door.
And as he's walking towards the building, and he would be looking around to see if there's any of the protective charms or salt around this building.
Oh yeah, there's a line of salt. It seems like many of the tea houses have salt in front of them, but this one strikes you as particularly thick, and all the windows also have lines of salt on them, as well as that black tag announcing that there is recently dead in the building. And you can rap on the door, and as you do, it creaks open, and the servant who stares out at you at first looks pleased to see another priest, but then confused and scared to see all the rest of you. And she murmurs, "Are you here to aid your colleague, Holy One?"
Possible a we heard the chanting and knowing it's unusual for us to perform our duties in this place. Wanted to make sure everything was as on board, so to
Hey,
speak.
girl, close that door. We are closed. No one in, no one out. It is polluted here. You hear a call from the back.
I'd like to a spell slot and cast detect poison and disease
Uh,
within 30 feet. It will tell me location and then type.
there is no poison or disease present within 30 feet of you. The pollution you would know is being referred to is the pollution of death. Places where people have died, places closely associated with a dead person or a dead body itself, most of all require, all carry great pollution and require ritual
Cleansing.
purification by priests, and everyone but priests must undergo ritual purification whenever they encounter any of these things.
Kudo would uh, pour out some of his incense and just start to step forward, says, I will assist in this endeavor.
And the servant lets you in. She calls out,
And the
"Mr.
emotions
Spriori, it is another
command
priest."
to kind of wait at the door, but be ready to come in.
I will look at the others. Did he say that there's a disease in there?
No, a dead person is in there.
This is their way of speaking around death.
Yeah,
Ah,
you refer to it as pollution.
Come, let us. We shall let our friend deal with the pollution, and perhaps we can find some pollution of our own kind. And he'll start asking some questions, trying to be pretty surreptitious about it though.
Okay, who do you want to ask? And like, there's people in the street, servants sweeping the ground, carefully avoiding the lines of salt. Some people replacing burnt out lanterns with new ones, trimming wicks, throwing out refuse. A few people bringing in produce to some of the tea houses and brothels.
I might just roll.
And everyone is staying as far away from you as they can and not looking at you.
I
I
think
might
for
approach the guy with the broom then. Oh, sorry, Conan.
I was just gonna say for Hanbei, he's not really trying to talk to anyone anyways. He's just staying outside, looking like, I can't believe I am here.
Yeah, no,
that's all I'm doing.
they are, anyone with Hanbei is being treated like a leper.
That's okay. I mean, I can take it.
Yeah. They are terrified of him.
Is there anywhere close by? Would there be a like a sake house or something like that that I would know of, that I would maybe have some connections or leads to? Whether they're friendly or not, I'm not too sure. I can let that up to a die, but I'd just like to
Yeah.
go to a place that I know where I can ask questions, even if they don't like me there.
Hang on, I need to scare away the fox that is prowling around the house. 1 second.
Get it!
Can we take 5 minutes? Is that possible, Jill?
She's dead. The fox got it.
No, Sorry. All right, we're good.
at
Would
some-
we be able to take 5 minutes? If that's okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Do a quick 5.
Yeah.
Five. Everyone come back in 5.
that'd be
We'll
cool.
check
Thank you
that.
so much.
Cool.
Yep.
All right.
Don't want it getting too close to the foundations. All right.
Excellent. How are things, Joel?
Oh, they're pretty good.
Super, super cool. I
I
always
was
remember when I think of you, I always think of swords and stuff, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I am back.
Excellent.
Hey, so we've got 2 back. Well, 3 counting me.
I'm back as well.
All
Oh, look
right.
at that. That was a nice tight 5 minutes.
Yep. All right. Just waiting on Cam. Yeah, I don't really mind foxes, but I don't want them going through the trash. So, you know, if they get near the house, scare them away.
Yeah, foxes can be really brave after a while, you know. Can be really
I
brave.
don't think it's bravery as much as there's nothing around. So if there's not like a dog in the yard or a particularly large cat, they're like, yeah, I can go around.
Wow.
But they'll run whenever a person comes near
Okay.
or anything. But yeah, the deer are the ones that are free and fearless.
Better than raccoons.
Oh God.
Raccoons and coyotes is where I live. That's mostly coyotes, though, actually. We don't really have coons
We
here.
had one pack of coyotes, but I think um the city or town council or whatever took care of them. Like, yeah, no pack of coyotes in that little patch of woods. No, not near people and pets. But yeah,
Our cameras once got coyotes right by our door, but it was just one time.
yeah. Better than my aunt and uncle, who their place out in California, well, Tahoe area. Bears. Apparently, you keep the doors locked at all times because there are bears, and they will, if you leave them unlocked, they are smart enough to open handles.
Alright, I'm back.
Yep. All right. If we're ready to start.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Well, yeah. You see a tea house that you have been to a time or two before. Koga.
Yep.
And you can sort of slip in the door there, and you see the owner, Katu, look at you. Look what the Tanuki dragged in.
Does he like me or not, though? That's the interesting thing.
She's just kind of neutral
She.
to you,
Okay, cool.
tolerates you.
I mean, I'll take tolerance. Tolerance
Yeah.
is better than hostility. I'll sidle up to the bar, still hunched over, shuffling, really leaning into my age. And then I will quietly order a drink and order a drink for my companions. And then ask no, I won't ask anything just yet. I will perhaps let Hanbei or Rumiko do some talking just to see what happens, just to see what shakes free.
Yeah.
I will watch.
All right. And as this is happening, I'm going to shift back to the house that Kudo entered. And as you come in, Kudo, the darkened entryway, you see candles and incense as the proprietress comes down and looks at you and she says, another good. Here, come pray. And she sort of ushers you towards a room in which you see another Buddhist priest sitting cross-legged, chanting prayers for the dead before a large wooden tub, which you know to be the coffin for the dead, not yet nailed shut.
And it's the coffin closed or raised?
It is closed but not sealed yet.
Kuda would join in the chant, carrying the incense that he's lit. Uh, he would go, oh, go up to the coffin and then and raise it to where he could just barely see inside, and and play a ace 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 one of his holy symbols inside the coffin, and that's part of the rites of the dead. And, and at the same time, I'd like to do a medicine check to see if I can determine cause of death. So +5. That will be 21.
Oh, I think it blinked.
Oh, did we lose Jill?
Yeah.
Oh, there's 2 Jills. What's better than 1 Jill?
What did you roll again?
21.
There. That way I don't forget.
I heard you lift. Sorry, I cut out there. Last I heard, you lifted the lid of the coffin.
Okay. I placed one of my holy symbols in the coffin as part of the rites of the dead. And just by looking, I wanted to do a medicine check to determine the cause of death.
Oh yeah, as you lift the lid, you see inside a young girl. She was probably pretty, but it's pretty clear that she was drowned and she died hard. You look at her and she's shrouded, her head has been shaved as is customary, and she's shrouded in white, but the expression on her face is one of anger. Her face is contorted into a rictus. She obviously did not die at peace. You can see where the flesh is kind of swollen. She wasn't in the water long with that roll, otherwise she'd look much worse than she does, but there are bruises, you can see faint traces of bruises around her neck, and it looks like water was like she was in the water for at least a few hours before being fished out and brought back here.
I would just set the holy symbol out, and close the lid. And as I'm turning and kind of positioning myself to settle in to join in the chants, I look at the other monk, uncle priest, and 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 I'm looking to see if I know him or he might be associated with my particular temple, etc.
Roll me a d6.
No modifier. That will be a 4.
He is not associated with your temple.
Okay.
But you do recognize that he is a follower of Amida Buddha.
Okay.
Just by the regalia he is wearing and the amulet and icon around his neck as he is chanting and clicking the prayer beads off one by one.
I would join in with the chant, kind of following his lead, since it's a bit different than my own. And I would continue using the incense to kind of sage the room.
Yeah, you know the rituals for the dead. You can definitely follow along here. And as you do that, we're going to go back to the tavern. And what are you all doing in there? Well, we know what Koga is doing, drinking and watching.
Yeah, Hanbei is staying outside the room where Kudo went in. So
Yeah.
I'm not actually at the tavern. I'm still over there, but outside.
Yeah, which is good because I don't think they would like to.
Big party split.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be interested to see how Rumiko handles herself in a room like this, an establishment like this. So it's a bit of a trial by fire here. Yeah.
Yeah, she comes in with you and she asks the person. She says, "May I refill my water?"
She looks at you like mouth agape. Ayya! What is this? What is this? Weapons? Weapons in Yoshiwara? Strange women
She looks.
carrying
She
swords.
slowly turns and
Koga, explain.
looks towards Kuga.
And over the top of my glass, I'll say, "Peace, peace." We didn't get an official edict or anything from for searching with our weapons, did we? We were just told that we could come in here with the Shogun's blessing.
Yeah, you were ordered by the chief magistrate.
Yeah, so you know, over the top of my glass.
Him, he will not. he will not do anything about it.
So you know, he's one elbow propped up on the bar, watching this interaction, and he says, "Peace, peace. Tonight it is official business." And then he will then go on to explain what has happened and why we are here in regards to the fires, investigating the fires. And then he'll gesture to Rumiko and say, "And so I'm here escorting my young friend as she finds information." And then goes back to sipping, all while watching. He's watching the way the interaction unfolds, but he's also watching for how other people react to what we're doing, because this is his skill set specifically. Is he is able to
Give me an insight.
watch and read people. Sure, I can do that. I can do that. And I will add. Oh, we'll see how I roll first. I think I'm too fixated on my cup currently.
Yeah.
But this is my strength, guys. Everybody, this is my strength.
Yeah, you are tired. You've been up all night. You fought a fire. You got burned. You saw demons. You're just not really with it. And the only thing you can pick up on is the obvious that everyone here is scared. You're not.
I hadn't checked that I was proficient in it, but I am proficient in it. I don't want everyone to think that I'm a loser.
Yeah, everyone's scared. That's all you get.
Okay.
Yeah, Rumiko sort of takes her time and she repeats again as she adjusts her tattered grey clothes and slips her feet out of these open sandals, and she says, "May I refresh my water? I will pay."
She will just look at you and silently motion to a bucket of. She'll just motion you out to the back where there is a well.
Absolutely. She takes her time. She slowly walks out in the direction that was given to her. She refills her water and makes her way slowly back inside.
As Rumiko's outside, I just want to say to this, this bartender that I know, go gentle, manners.
She just gives you a look.
He gives me a look. Well, he'll say, "If you give her no trouble, I'll give you no trouble." And then he gives her a
We
look,
are
and
not,
as
we
in
are
to
not
say,
together
like,
here. We are not gonna
as in to
do
say, I'll start a bar fight just for the fun of it. Like, let's play nice.
Yeah.
Because that's how he gets information. Is he's one of those, investigators. It's like, that looks like a really expensive vase. Can I look at it? Sort of.
What
That's
do
how he
you
gets
want?
things done.
Koga, no one here started fires.
Rumiko comes back in, sits next to Koga, and she like changes her breathing, inhaling like much slower, using a lower abdominals all the way up, and exhaling very, very slowly as she does she heals herself, second wind, yeah. And as she does that, she says, we're looking for a woman, perhaps a geisha. She wears fine clothes, has fine taste. Perhaps there are symbols or designs upon her dresses or what she wears of golden cranes. Have you seen someone such as this, or can you point us in the direction of someone who has?
Give me an insight when you roll that, both of you.
Yeah. Now I'm rolling insights. Oh my God! Is that another natural one? Yeah.
I think one of the burning embers got in your eye, and you're just having trouble seeing today. But you definitely notice, Rico, that when you say this, there is a flicker of recognition across the face of the bartender.
Absolutely, and when she sees that flicker in her eye, she sort of inclines her head, and she says, "It seems you know more than you wish to let on. Speak."
You are looking for the dead girl?
The dead girl.
You didn't know.
What happened?
She was drowned. She drowned herself this morning. She's in the house, the tea house. The purple lantern. She gestures towards the house.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. We went past that house. She says she drowned herself. Why?
I don't know. I don't know her. Shrugs. Akiko. She served there. She worked there. That dress, she's famous for it. It was a gift from Ume. And even you have heard of Ume. And Koga, you know that Ume is the most famous and renowned geisha in all of Edo. Men have gone mad and killed themselves obsessing over her. No one knows exactly how old she is or what her real name is, but everyone knows she is the most beautiful, the most graceful, the absolute best geisha in all of Edo, in all of Nippon. And that her voice, her manners, everything about her drives men, distraction. She's been courted by daimyo and merchants with wealth beyond measure. And if this Akiko was given a gift by her, that would be something she would wear with great pride indeed.
Yeah, that'd be something.
Without looking towards Kuga, she almost speaking into the panel that's in front of her. She says, "Kuga, where would Ume be now?"
Say that again, sorry.
She says, "Where would Ume be now?"
Mm. Where would Ume be? Where does she take a residence? Is she someone that lives in this district, or?
Yes, she is a geisha. She does live in this district by order of the Shogun.
Would I know that she's almost inaccessible to anybody?
Yeah,
almost inaccessible to anybody.
Yeah, you would. She entertains at night, and when she goes out, wherever she goes, it is packed, and whatever tea house she chooses to frequent at that night is filled with people, and the room in which she is entertaining, the proprietor or proprietress will have, and she will have, many golden ryu for that. There's however many people can fit in that room will be paying obscene sums.
Yeah.
And even those who cannot pay that, anyone who can afford to get into that tea house, to even be close, to even be near, to catch a glimpse of her, will be in that tea house if they can, if there is room, if they can somehow squeeze their way in, just for a glimpse of her, and they will bring much custom and much wealth.
Yeah.
And it
Okay.
used to be, that she used to spend many nights at the Purple Lantern, but of course tonight,
Yeah,
no
it got
one
burned
can
down.
go there. Just closed, pollution.
Oh, sorry, got burned down. Yeah, someone died there. Okay, interesting.
Well, there's a dead woman in there.
Yeah, so
Woman.
maybe we've got some good information here. Like, this is a pretty good lead. So, Rumiko, maybe we head back to the Purple Lantern.
She nods. She bows towards the woman in front, slipping back on her slippers, and stands to the side, waiting to follow you out.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can go back out. Hanbei, have you done anything in the meantime?
No, I'm standing out in the street, almost like he's impatient almost, and is tempted to go inside the tea house after Kudo, but he remains in the street. Can I see if there's any people going around that I would be of note? Like any other guards, or since no one else is carrying weapons, I presume it'd be hard to tell that, unless there's just a...
Oh, the guards usually carry clubs in here.
Okay.
And they wear specific liveries, but you can give me a perception, I guess, to see if you notice anyone out of the ordinary.
Okay, that is a non-natural 20.
Dirty 20.
Yeah.
You see a young girl sort of peeking out of one of the upstairs windows of a tea house down the street. She's watching you with fascination, but not fear, and that's the only thing that strikes you, because everyone else is doing everything they can to avoid your notice. They're not looking at you. They're not making eye contact. They're going as far around you as they reasonably can, trying to just pretend you don't exist. But this young girl, this child, doesn't seem afraid.
Okay. I will notice this and kind of look around. And is there any, like, I don't know, vegetation or gardenry in front of any of these houses, or what does it kind of look like? Is it all dirty streets, or?
I mean, it's not dirty. There are, if you see the in Roll20, the sort of picture there, that's kind of the entrance to it. And as you go down, it's like the streets are mostly neat. There are lanterns outside of the buildings in different colors, advertisement paper. It's quiet this early in the day in the pleasure district. There's a few trees and flowers. Mostly the gardens would be in the back in enclosed courtyards. So
Okay.
there's not really any significant foliage out front.
If there's something, even if it's just like a ground flower or anything, I think Hanbei is gonna go over to wherever there looks to be something of note, and just kind of pluck a single flower from either the ground or one of the planters, whatever it is, and I will hold it up towards the girl, and assuming she doesn't come forwards, I'll go halfway and then just kind of set it down for her, and then kind of not because I know everyone seems to be thinking I'm super scary. I'm gonna just step back, but having offered her that.
Yeah, you see, she kind of looks from the fence that she was on, and she will jump down, scramble over, grab the flower, give you this inscrutably cheeky, coy smile, grab it, and run back up, like with a, and into the tea house.
I'll step out of the way for her to go up then and just be like, huh.
And as you all make your way back out, I guess we will wait for Cam to come back, and then we will go into the Purple Lantern Tea House, or at least I believe that Koga and Rumiko probably will. But yeah, this is a young girl, and she does not seem afraid of you. She even seemed.
Yeah. I'll find that exchange very curious.
Yeah.
Not threatened or anything by it, just kind of.
Yeah.
Life goes on here in this part of town.
Mm-hmm.
Though if I will say that when Rumiko and Koga both get back, if they're gonna go inside, I will go in with them. I'm not staying outside 100% for that. Just currently waiting for Kudo to return.
Yeah, I get it. Well, is there anything else you want to do in there before your companions arrive? Kudo?
I actually imagine around the time they get it to where they're coming back, I'd be coming out. I would just kind of using like the sage through the house to kind of make my exit. And talk with them outside, and then
As you start to head out, the proprietress, hey, where are you going?
my companion outside has some of my incense. I need to gather it from him.
She looks oddly at them.
It's
That's
gonna.
that samurai with the weapons, your companion.
Yes, as my bodyguard, if you will, temporarily.
She looks at you. What temple are you from? What
Uh,
monk goes around with a bodyguard?
But investigating the fires by order of the magistrate.
Oh, she looks.
Hey,
Give me an insight.
okay, give me just a second. Inside +5. That will be a 13.
She looks startled, afraid, and a little bit suspicious of you now. Whereas before, she just assumed you were with the other monk. And she was getting more for her money. She is now unsure
That's
what's going on here.
as we were in the area and heard the chanting, I realized what was going on there and felt it was my duty to assist. And then he'll kind of give a slight bow and goes at no charge, of course.
She looks a little bit less sour when you say at no charge.
However, the job is a bit bigger than I expected and didn't bring in all of my supplies. Merely stepping out for a second to retrieve some.
I'm sure your colleague can handle it.
If you wish.
And as you are sort of stepping out, I imagine you see Koga and Rumiko coming sort of over towards the building.
Okay. Now, did the proprietor close the door behind me?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Good.
What did he run into the girl going inside or no?
The girl was not going inside that tea house. It was in a different one.
Oh, okay. All right, I misunderstood that. Never mind.
Yeah, no problem.
Good, because my intention was to actually leave anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, that door has not been opened like more than really a crack, except when she thought you were another priest coming, and now it is closed up tightly again.
Ah, Kudo, what did you find?
We should walk away from her.
I'll just look around and just follow. Kind of walking like a step and a half behind almost, but it's just off to your like on your right side. So you're leading, but we're almost the same.
Yeah. Yeah, and I imagine I lead them down the street a ways as before we stop and talk.
And as you walk down the street, Hanbei, you recognize someone you know, sort of making his way out with his hair a little bit tasseled, and his kimono slightly wrinkled. Jogoro, a handsome young samurai with money and aspirations. And he looks startled to see you, and even more startled to see you carrying weapons.
I'll lock eyes with him and just kind of nod a hello, but my eyes are full of, you disgrace.
Yeah, he sort of flushes, and he flushes at that, and just sort of like with a little bit of fuming, just like turns and makes his way out towards the gates. As he not pleased to have been seen and recognized by you, and even less pleased to have been judged by someone with better morals than himself.
It's at that point that Rumiko relays the information that her and Kuga had got from the place that we'd been to, and that it's Ume that we're looking for, possibly.
Now, at the name of Ume, would I recognize that as well, or no?
Yeah, you would have heard of Ume. She's the most celebrated geisha in all of Edo. And just to reiterate, Ume gave the kimono to the girl named Akiko probably a couple of weeks ago as a gift. And Akiko apparently drowned last night.
If we have a little bit of a team huddle, I guess, do we think Ume's responsible for either the fires or the murder of this girl?
I personally have kind of made an attempt to get back before we get into the conversation real deep.
Yeah, he should be here for this part.
Okay.
If he...
Maybe do another like 5.
I think
Yeah,
so.
I guess.
That's a
Yeah.
pretty good idea, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
got
I
kids
could
to
use
get.
another smoke.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get my kids ready for bed real quick. I'll be back in 5.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay, I'm back.
Nice, nice. Oh. So you were taking a monk, right?
Yeah, it's actually multi-class monk with 1 level of cleric.
Cool, nice. I haven't played a monk in years, and I mean years. That's it.
Oh, they're fun for fighting.
Cool.
So Cam messaged me on Facebook. They're having like flooding where he is, so he's having to drop for the
Ooh.
rest of the session.
Ah, shit.
Okay.
Shame.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah, that's definitely a shame. So when
What do you
Adrian
want to do, Joe?
gets back, I guess we can decide if we want to just keep going or if we want to like call it for tonight and do another try and get back together next week or some other time. But yeah,
Really cool. Cool.
he is out for the moment with a very reasonable
Yeah, something like that I can understand.
freak
Gosh, pardon.
flash flood, I think, from a thunderstorm.
Whoa. No, that's definitely not cool. No. Yeah, for me anyway, it'll be great to do another time because then I can do a bit of research on a bit more research with Japan and stuff like this. We just close arms. What were you gonna say?
I did a very small amount out myself, but
I thought it might be fun to do like a more Eastern sort of
It is
D&D
Yeah.
thing, since a lot of them are very like European and
super Jill.
nice fresh change of pace.
it definitely is fun. It's a bit interesting trying to flavor the spells and stuff as something they would have believed in or actually practiced.
I mean, yeah, I think it fits pretty well. Like a lot of the Japanese mythology and the monsters, like quite a few of them are actually in the monster manual, and the classes work pretty well. I mean, you've got monk
Exactly.
straight up, you've got the monk, and then samurai as a paladin or a fighter.
Yeah,
works
and
really
then
well.
with my level of cleric, I took a lot of the divination. Type
Yeah, that fits
stuff,
quite well.
So that helped.
Yep.
And then the other stuff, because I'm a monk priest, I can kind of flavor add chi or life force.
Yeah.
Do you find any particular like resources and stuff that you checked out?
Nothing in particular. I just basically Googled 1700 Japan, and
I'm back.
Oh, hey.
a lot of things.
Unfortunately, Cam he has to drop because his place is flooding. They're having a flash flood where they are, so he.
Oh no!
They're even losing power or something. But he messaged me on Facebook that he has to go.
That's really scary, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys want to keep going tonight or if you want to try and get the group together again some other night. But I am good with either.
If we want to pause and do it, I'm available basically same time next week. Other than that, it's really hard for scheduling, I'll say.
Yeah. I actually don't know yet because I'm in the process of getting a home group where I live together, and we haven't decided daytime. Outside of that, I'm pretty much 3 in the evenings like tonight.
Yeah,
I mean,
for me, it's next week would be perfect, but
Yeah.
it's your call, guys. How you want to do it?
I kind of would like to finish up all four of us if we, well, five, including you, Jill.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I feel the same actually.
Well, if you guys are okay with that, then I will just let him know that give him a message that we will just try and schedule and finish this up next week.
yeah,
That
if
was a cliffhanger.
if everybody's good with that, I am.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, see you all
Um,
around.
I was gonna ask if when I looked in the coffin if I recognized the lady.
No, you did not, but I will tell you this right now. She was dead before that fire was started.
I had a feeling.
Yeah. Just because you rolled so well on your medicine check, you can tell that she died before the fire
Yeah.
was started.
Okay, that kind
That's
of gives me the hint I was looking for as to what's going on.
yeah. Jill, I had a quick question actually. Major favor. Is it possible that I can get the what's it called, the link to this so that I can in the week watch it?
Yeah, as long as it actually works, as long as I can get
Yeah.
it, as long if it recorded properly, then I will absolutely send that to you.
Brilliant, so great.
I have it recorded on my computer too, so if it doesn't, I can put it on my YouTube as a private video. Or my recordings only show the Roll20. I never record cameras, so
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if
What's
it
your
doesn't work,
channel?
let me know.
All right. Thank you very
What-
much.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind being able to watch it like right before net session myself.
Yeah, it's very helpful to have a video record so you
So
can
great.
remember what the heck was going on.
Adrian, what's your channel? If you don't mind me asking.
I have a channel called the Lee 6113 Tabletop Role Playing Game Guild, and me and a bunch of my buddies we've got like 100 people in our Discord, but we record a lot of our games and they're posted. They're just live plays mostly. So they're not incredibly watchable unless people were in them and want historical record, but we post most of our games online.
Cool.
On
So
like YouTube.
yeah, YouTube.
Yeah, and my channel, even though I haven't put anything up in a couple years, it's Power Up Gamers on YouTube.
Yeah, Adrian, can you put in the? I don't know if you can, because I heard what you said, but I didn't write it down. What is the?
Sure. I'll link you to the YouTube if that's fine. That might be easier.
That'd be great.
I can't promise there's much of watchable content on there, but
Okay, where will you put it? Where will you put the link? Or whatever?
does the Facebook work?
Yeah, that's super.
Yeah, that works great. We can.
Okay.
In fact, come to think of it, I think I have some videos of Jill as a player.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Jill's hardcore, man. She's hardcore. I don't care what no one says, man. She is hardcore.
I've been having a
Listen,
blast.
I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
See you guys
Cheers.
later. It was fun. It was a lot of
Oh,
fun.
it definitely was fun. Thank you. I'm just starting to get back into all this after a very long social media break.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, see you
thank
guys next week, hopefully.
Okay. Perfect.
you have a good night.
All right.
Night.
Good night.